Well, hey there, everyone. We've been quite busy lately, and the building here is quite a mess because all I've had to do lately, all I've had time to do is basically go over to McDonald steel, gather up stuff that we're buying, weigh it out, bring it over, drop it off, go back over, get some more stuff. So this project has taken on a life of its own, but that's fine because there's only one chance to get this stuff. So, our roll lathe is sitting here. We have a couple of cabinets of samples and templates and the boards. I'll show you those here in a second. We also have the radial drill over in its new home, but at some point over the winter I've got to get it wired in. And here's the boards. So that there, 14-inch bar mill. Let's see, this would be stand, number 7 stand. And so this is the shape of the steel going through those particular rolls, making this particular piece. And then they use the wood instead of a drawing. They use the wood boards to record all the data on and to work from, because these would last a little bit longer than something on paper and be easier to use. So we have quite a few of these that we saved and brought over here. So one other thing is that they were also disposing of a lot of the oils and lubricants and all that no longer needed, and actually they would have to pay to dispose. So we got quite a bit here. I mean, I don't know what we're going to do with a drum of 80W90 gear oil, but hey, it's here. We have hydraulic fluid, enough to hopefully keep our 2 machines going for years. There's some 30 weight oil here. And back here, there's some 32. So there's 2 drums of this. I think we're going to use this for the recirculating oil in the Todd engine. That's automatic transmission fluid. This is the really thick gear lube for the bevel gearbox. And then we have partial barrel of mineral spirits over there. So we're well stocked for lubricants. And we got our DC to DC SA200 welder here, probably World War II vintage. Works great. We got it out of the machine shop, brought it over here, wired it in, and kicked it right on and started welding. It's it's rather old. This is how you adjust your voltage, maximum 200, 150, 100, or actually amperage on that. The tag down here says HS, so that's Homestead Steelworks. So that's originally from the Homestead Works. So we'll welcome it to the collection. Let's see what we got going on over here. So we just got done today digging this giant hole. This is the foundation, going to be the foundation for the rolling mill. So it's going to be 6 feet wide, 4 feet deep of concrete. Back to here, there's a gearbox that goes in here, and then the drive shaft goes through the wall to the Todd engine. So I got all this designed and decided that instead of waiting until next spring, we're just going to dig the hole right now, pour the concrete in, so that next spring, we can just get on things rather quickly and get all the machinery installed here. I think I have somebody to do the work that needs to be done on the 2 drive shafts that need to be shortened. So we're going to get that work done. The goal here is to get this concrete in sometime over the winter, get the big gearbox down here in place, get the mill shoes in place, everything lined up. I think what we're going to do is set everything in place where it needs to go, then mark the concrete, and then move the items out of the way, and then core drill into the concrete, then put the foundation bolts in, instead of trying to line up foundation bolts and all that right now, because I know that I'm going to be off and it's going to screw things up. So it's better just to get everything lined up where it needs to go, mark it, drill the holes, put the bolts in, epoxy them in place, and then move on from there. So these two doors are going to be installed right here, basically where the drive shaft comes through, and we'll actually put like a half circle in each door so that when they close, the drive shaft will stick through them. Doing that because we're going to have the rolling mill in, we're going to have all this stuff installed, and it's going to be done well before we even start on the construction of the addition. And I want to make sure that I can still secure the building, even though the rolling mill, everything will be here. This back bay, I think this wall, even when the new addition's done, this wall will stay up to this column, and then all of this will come down, and it'll all be one big room with the main bay and the side bay. So these doors that we're putting in are going to stay there as well. The roll lathe will eventually live right here between the gearbox and the rear wall. So there's enough room for like a tiny little roll shop back in there. So the goal right now is get the concrete done right now, start getting stuff on there over the winter, then start working on the Todd engine back to the original plan that we were going to be doing, which is getting it lined up and leveled with the concrete put under it. I wanted to do that before winter, but now because of this, we're going to do that next spring. So that gives me a little bit more time to get that done. And then also over the winter, the shunter is going to be moved out of here. We're going to clear all this area here so that when we do that concrete work on the engine, we can get in here and have good access. So a lot of this stuff's going to be going elsewhere. Yeah, here's another thing that we found over there. Like 20 pieces of 1.5-inch PVC conduit. That'll be useful. Oh, some other stuff here. Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of these home-built cabinets that was in the plant, so I kind of like them. So we've been gathering up a few of them for here. Sawhorses. This is the piece of drive shaft that the one shaft that we got was bolted up to, and I cut that off the other day because this end here will be closest towards the Todd engine, and so I need to make a spindle and a flexible coupling that goes between here and the side and the end of the crankshaft. So what we're going to do for that is put this piece, if you can see it, machine that in the shaft for that piece right there, get it on there, and basically do that piece, and then you have a set of universals, and there will be another adapter piece that will go on the crankshaft that'll bolt into. But we don't have to use that old one because they had spares, and we'll just use one of the new spares. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, this table, because it has a 00 prefix on the pattern number, that was actually made by the McDonald mills themselves. That design, that's one of their own things. We found 3 or 4 of them in the plant. I grabbed a couple of them, so it'll be nice to have around here, something from the plant. Just as these legs for the workbenches, these were also home built, made the patterns, had them cast, machined them, and had their own workbenches. So yeah, a lot of the stuff that we're finding over there actually originated in the plant. They were making so much stuff themselves. They weren't buying very much from vendors. in the way of, you know, items like this. They would just make it themselves. So, which is rather extraordinary. And let's see, what else is going on around here? Oh, there's a couple of 3-foot gauge transfer cars out of McDonald that are eventually going to make their way out to New Jersey next year. They're just temporarily in storage. We were just running 58. Well, we just got done, about an hour and a half ago. So what we did all day is I was running the excavator, digging the hole. We had 58 with a couple of side dump cars. So I was filling the side dump cars and shoving them to the end of track out front onto the fill, and then dumping the dirt off to the side. Build out the fill a little bit and also dispose of the dirt. So, you know, I never get a chance to take a video of us actually doing something. I'm always like doing this recap after the end of the day when we're done and nothing's moving around. I apologize for that, but I actually got work to do and I don't have time to do the, you know, the whole camera thing. And everybody was busy and nobody was really taking pictures today. We were just getting the job done. But hey, 58's running pretty good. I mean, this is 2024. It's the fifth season of operation, and she's in pretty good shape. Let's see if we can get something to make noise here. Well, not that. All right, let's close this valve. All right, let's come back here. Open up this valve here. There we go. So that's the whistle that when we bought the 62 last year, that's the whistle that was in a box in the firebox. So that is that engine's original whistle. So it's probably the closest to the sound of the original whistle for this one as well. We've got the 62 here jacked up. Just got the driver sets broke free here recently. So we're gonna get this thing jacked up the rest of the way, roll the driver sets out, get out the ring of fire, and then move each one of the driver tires out 3/8 of an inch. And then this one here will be good to go anywhere on the railroad, and also once we get couplers and all that on it. But once we have the drivers out, we go through and wire wheel everything and paint it and clean it up, and then put the drivers back under, and then start putting this engine back together. This one is not going to get the amount of work that 52 or 58 got. It doesn't need a lot, and it also not looking at this being an everyday runner like 58. This one here, for the most part, will be stationary boiler for the rolling mill, but also capable of operating under our own power, and may not even get the cab and all that put on anytime soon. I just want to get it together, get the boiler on there, get it operating, making steam, and then we're going to move on to the 57 and get the same thing done on it. Get the 7 tubes put in that it needs, move the driver tires out, clean everything, put it back together, and it'll be basically the same as 62. Both of them will work together when we're making steam to run the Todd engine, to run the rolling mill. That's the immediate priority, is to get these two making steam, and then later on, you know, we'll go and finish everything up, and especially on 57, a new saddle tank, and then, you know, get the cab and all that put on there, get it restored, get 62 with whatever it's going to look like. No, it's not going to be a 2-foot gauge Berkshire. Okay, jeez, man, I regret even mentioning that, because I was trying to convey that the image, and then people took it literally as if, oh look, he's going to add pilot trucks and trailing trucks and all this. Like, oh my god. Whatever. Let's see, what else is going on here? Not all that much. 60, nothing with it, except we'll eventually get some paint on it and close her up a little bit better, but don't really have anything planned for that one for now, although it does have the builder's plate on there. There's there. All right. Okay, so let's see. So we had an air gauge convention here. Was it a week or two ago? We had a bunch of people from that came out. We had a bunch of stuff running. Heist did a video about us that apparently just came online, so go watch that if you'd like. I think that was rather well attended. There's a I don't want to say the name wrong. I think Steel Mill Modeler Supply has just come out with a model of this in HO scale. Well, I think 3D printing, it could probably make it any scale. I'm not really sure, but he was out here recently, took some measurements of this hot metal car, so models of that will be available now. All right, everyone. Been a long day. I'm going to wander around here a little bit more, take some measurements of my hole, make sure that we got it in the right place. And then I'm going to head home, and tomorrow we have a steam locomotive experience, last one of the season. And at the end of the month, I think October 26th, we have a nighttime photo shoot. That is our last running day of the year. Then after that, we bring 58 up there and winterize the engine for the year, and then focus our attention mostly on just getting the rolling mill foundation in and working on that over the winter. So all right, everyone, take care.